What's the most difficult thing about getting older?
Oh, come on. Okay.
So many.
Yeah. So
Being
I'm
forgetful?
Yeah.
Randomly forgetting things. Yeah.
Yeah. Right out the gate, it's not being able to eat what I want to eat.
No.
I hate not being able to eat just anything that I want to at any given time, because there are so many times I'm at a restaurant and something on the menu sounds amazing. Like, for instance, I went to a restaurant recently that had like a spicy, like fried cod fish sandwich, and it sounded amazing, but I can't eat spicy stuff anymore. Like, no, I can't. I can't have Twinkies. I love Twinkies. Can't have that no more. It's
Your
infuriating.
taste buds in your mind say yes, and your body's like,
No,
just try it.
no. You want to be in the bathroom for the next 17 hours? Like, no. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
That's true.
I always have to weigh like how much do I want to hurt myself today?
Yeah.
It's exactly what it
That's
is.
fair.
It's like Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Hurt myself.
Dude.
To see if I can feel.
I take I'm taking like 9 pills a day to balance all the terrible
be.
things going. Yeah, just to live,
Just to be.
just to be here.
Yeah.
Will you have one?
Okay.
Ear hair.
Ear hair. Oh my
Ear
gosh.
hair. Ear hair is the worst.
It's the worst.
You remember your first ear? Do you remember
Yeah.
your first one?
It's just a random long hair. I was like, what is going
I thought
on?
it was from my head.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I just got a hair that's fallen off my head into my ear. No, it hadn't fallen off my head into my ear. It was
in the ear,
growing
yeah.
out of my ear canal. And I pulled it and I thought it was connected to my brain. It was so painful. Oh,
So the first one I remember.
my eye was twitching after that. You know, you pull the ear hair and then your eye's twitching.
First one I remember. I keep hearing this. I think something has nested in my ear because I keep
Nice.
hearing this like,
Ugh.
Yeah.
and I'm like, what is that? And it was like all day.
Yeah.
I keep I'd
Scratching.
move and I'd hear like, and I'm like, there's definitely something in my ear. This is not
Yeah.
right. And so I'm like, I'm digging around like, there's got to be something. And then same thing. Yeah. I'm like, ow. Like, and there's like, where did that come from? Yeah.
There you go.
Mhm.
Oh man,
Ear
yeah.
hairs.
I
Ear
had
hair.
one the other
Yeah, it's
day.
a bad one.
That was terrible.
Yep. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You're on a roll.
No, you please.
Going bald.
I'm forgetful. Yeah.
That's
If-
messed up.
If I started losing my hair not in my teens, I would say,
yeah,
that's
no.
probably
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But no, it's been a long-standing
Been there,
thing for
done
me.
that.
Yeah.
Got the t-shirt.
No, for me, it's going to bed feeling fine and waking up feeling like I got run over by a truck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like I did not. Where did I go?
Yeah.
Am I sleepwalking?
So I just
Yeah,
wasted.
I slept wrong. I need to go to the
slept
chiropractor.
I've clearly wasted thousands of dollars on this mattress that I thought was going to help.
That's why I woke up with 2 dislocated ribs.
Yeah, exactly.
Why's my leg broken?
Herniated disc.
Yes. Chiropractor's like, what did you do? I slept wrong.
I went to bed.
I fell
My bad.
asleep. Mm.
My bad. I went to bed. And that
Everything was
Tempur-Pedic
fine
made me
last
buy-
night. Everything.
Yeah. No, same thing. It's just random aches and pains. Absolutely no reason. Random bruises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what did I do yesterday? Oh, yeah. I made a smoothie. Yeah. Forgot about that one. You opened the door wrong. My wrist. Gosh.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Why, God? Why?
Yeah. So getting old sucks. I hope y'all hear that. But on that note, because I have to say that it's a part of the ritual. On that note, welcome to the podcast.
Nine to 5 or 5 to 9. We all have to work. All of us. We all have to work in some way or another. Jobs are just a part of life, and sometimes they suck. And sometimes they're great. Today, we go to work. Let's talk about working.
All right.
Working.
Let's work it out.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
That works.
That works. We'll work on it.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm not sure this is going to work, guys.
I don't know. Y'all just keep
I don't know,
working
you guys
in
are
some
working
puns.
way too much
Yeah.
here, man.
Just-
This is- yeah.
Yikes.
All right.
That's where everybody
bad.
stopped listening.
Let's get down to business.
That's right.
Get down to business.
Get down to business.
I appreciate it.
Business time.
Business is something you do at work. Yes.
Oh.
And it's been fun having a podcast with you, but I think we're done.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think-
yeah.
yeah.
No.
I think we should all get
all right.
jobs.
Let's
Yeah.
let's jump right in with this. What was your first job and first real job? Not
Yeah.
like I cut somebody's yard and I got like $20 or
I'm
something.
offended.
No. Let's say like you are working for an employer. Like it's a job.
I'm offended.
I know. There's
Even if
other
you're
jobs out there,
self-employed?
but like,
Yeah, because I was about to say my first job was a business I made for myself.
but that's a business. Like that's not you
We're
as a
talking
little kid. Like, hey,
working
I'm
for
gonna
someone.
cut a neighbor's yard. And
But it started that way.
it started that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
first job.
Technically, that would be my first job because it was a commitment. I did start the business. I went through the whole process, got the equipment and everything. And that's what I did. That's how I made all my money when I was a kid. Mowing people's yards, weed eating, all that stuff. I even tried power washing for a little bit, and that allowed me to have all my play money. But yeah, that was it. After that, it was, I don't know. I didn't do like a ton of jobs. Like I had 3 jobs total, and one of them I'm still working today. So unlike some people who could jump around and try a lot of different things, I was pretty straight to the point with what I wanted to do with my life.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
First job with an employer. Started working at a used tire business at 13.
wow.
Yeah, worked there all the way till my senior year.
So you started
And then
ripping
off and
people
on
off
as I
real
was-
early.
As on and off and on when I was an adult as well. So
Yes.
fine.
Used.
I rolled all over them.
I'm
Oh.
Nah.
yeah. I would
Start selling bulk
visit
tires.
Eric out there.
Yep.
Just slinging tires.
All things with tires.
Yeah.
But since I worked for,
But he is retired from that now.
that's right. That's right.
He got tired of the job.
I was going to elaborate, but I can't.
Dude, yeah.
This is still-
He's like, he
sorry.
can't do that again. That job drove him mad.
That's right.
Oh.
That's right. These puns are getting tired.
Sorry, guys. That's just the kind of podcast we have today.
Yeah.
Well,
That's where we're at this
just
point.
retreading stuff.
Yeah. Do you want to go?
It's a trash.
Retreading?
Yeah.
We're treading water. I don't know. For me, Vis Delarakis was a Greek small business owner. He owned the convenience store down the street from my house. I was about 14 when I went to work for him. He also went to our church. He was a very interesting guy, very nice guy. First time I ever saw lamb eyeballs cooked and tasted octopus was at his house. But yeah, I went down there and I had to sweep up the convenience store and, clean stuff up, be a little stalker boy at 14. That was my
pretty
first official job.
Yeah.
First official job. I was a supermarket bag boy. Stock. Didn't do much stocking actually, but yeah, worked the front and clean up and whatnot. Yeah,
Interesting.
pretty simple job.
Yeah.
It was over a summer.
Cool.
Yeah.
Pretty neat. Everybody started working pretty young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really young. Usually I don't hear people like, oh, I got my first job at like 16, 17, but everybody here is like 13, 14.
Well, at our house,
That's
our parents was like, my parents were like, as far as like you getting clothes or shoes or whatever, this is our budget. You want anything that's more than that, you pay for it. I'm like, oh, well,
That's good.
let's figure that out. So I figured out real quick the value of $1. You know, if you work, you actually get paid. And I'm like, I like that. I didn't get an allowance growing up per se. We worked because that's, my dad was like, I pay for room and board, man. You get out there and mow yard. I'm like, oh, yes, sir. Okay. So there's a lot of that. And I figured out real quick that if you go have your own job, kind of like you said, when you have your own job, you get to spend your money on whatever you want to spend it on.
Yeah.
The other day, my oldest daughter came to me. She's 16. She said, I need a job. And I was like, why? She goes, well, I just had the realization that birthday money and Christmas money is not going to carry me through. It's not going to buy everything I want.
That's pretty smart.
And I was like,
It hits
okay.
pretty hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
It's like this suddenly like, oh, I want to do stuff.
Yeah.
And it takes money.
The second
Yeah.
thing that hits hard after that realization when you're young is when you get that first paycheck and
Oh.
half of it's gone and you're like,
Who's FICA?
That's
who
right.
is this ripping me off? You know?
My first paycheck was $5
Yeah.
because I worked at a supermarket
Yeah.
and you could charge to your paycheck.
Yep.
So like you could
yeah.
get food and whatever. And I knew but it was like perfectly like $5.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
5.00, like perfect.
It's amazing.
I didn't even cash it. Like it was just, I just like, hey, $5.
It's only worth my
Just hung
time.
it on the wall. It's like,
I
But
can
I
remember-
ate so many Hot Pockets like that first month.
I do remember growing up, like my senior year, I was in co-op class And that class was marketing ed. So it was like half a day I could go to school, the other half a day I could go work. And I'm like, I didn't want to be at school any longer than I had to.
Yeah.
And if I get to have an opportunity to go make some money in the process, sign me up. So I was working for KG Men's Store in the mall. And it was the same situation. Like if new clothes came in, new jeans, whatever, new whatever, you could actually like buy it first. And then put the rest out on the rack. And you know how it is when you go to the store and you're like, I finally find something I like. And all the sizes that are like what you need are gone.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang it. I didn't have to worry about that there because I'm the one that stocked everything.
Yeah.
So and as soon as something came out, I'm like, that'd be a rad shirt.
KG had some cool fashions too.
And so they would charge to your account. And I remember the day where I got a zero paycheck.
Yeah.
I got a pay stub. That was all I got. I was like, oh, look at that. I didn't pay attention.
Yeah. Man, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the things too I was thinking about, like, I started my work life on my own just because it was something I did anyway, and I just started doing it for neighbors. But I realized as I'm thinking through the 3 jobs that I've had, that had to also be like the worst job I've ever had, because like people who have to do physical labor in the heat that we deal with here in Texas, man, it is brutal. So every day, I'm in school as well as doing this. So I sometimes would try to wake up really early and go mow someone nearby.
Yeah.
That's on my list before I went to school so that I could get it over with, because it was cooler in the mornings. But most of my mowing was like after school was done and like super hot part of the days and stuff. And I like, these are times where I'd rather be like playing video games or something, like just doing something fun. But I'm out there like mowing all these people's yards that I want to get. And at the time it was like $20 a yard. Like you can't do that no more. It's like 45, 50 easy for a normal yard, And, but I look back and I'm like, man, it actually did suck, because it like took me away from a lot of things that I probably should have been doing as a kid, just having fun, just so that I could make a paycheck it felt like I kind of wasted some time. I would have rather had the time than the money, So it ended up being kind of bad, because when I got older, I reinstated that job with a friend. Like we did a large business with it, like had a whole trailer set, a bunch of mowers, returns, all that. We had people worked underneath us, and that also sucked. I was like, yeah, I remember this. This was a terrible idea. So I sold off my my portion of the business to him, and he took over and has been doing well with it. But I'm like, I'm out. So nice. I only do this now, what I'm doing currently. So yeah, that's actually the worst, probably one of the worst jobs I've had.
Let's see. Okay. My worst is, none of the jobs I had actually were like bad jobs. There were some bad situations in jobs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Like some seriously like real crappy, literally cleaning a room full of a septic tank that has blown out.
Man.
Oh, holy cow.
So literally
kind of
crappy.
thing. Like literally, like I've had that kind of thing, but it was
stinks.
part of a job. It does stink. It was
just
like
that kind of
part
episode.
of that kind of job. But as a whole,
Tired of this crap.
But as a whole,
we're going number 2.
that's a good callback.
Yeah.
But as a whole,
I'm gonna need a shirt,
dude, this is like not a work episode. This is a pun episode.
This is all puns.
How do you? Wow. This is how we cope with work.
Look, I'm tired of this crap.
Here's the job. I worked at a Pizza Hut.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've ever worked fast food, you realize you don't eat that fast food anymore, because you see what goes into making that fast food.
Yeah.
And so for years, I couldn't eat Pizza Hut. And I only worked there for a week.
Oh, wow.
I took the job.
Done.
I had to prep all the dough for the next day. And each kind of dough had so many pumps of like fat that you have to put into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see how much fat
goes in everything.
Goes into every one of them. And, but it wasn't a horrible job, but I was in high school. I was a senior. I didn't need the money. It was just, I took the job because I had a friend that was working there and there was a job. So I took it, and I was very clear. I don't want to work a certain amount, and I'm not working on these days. And they're like, yeah, that's cool. So they put me on more than I said on the days they said they were not going to put me.
Yep.
So I was like, I quit.
Yeah.
And they're like,
That's how it always works.
they're like, you can't quit. I'm like, no. I said I'm not working that day. I have a pool party. Like literally, that's what I said. I have a pool party. I'm going to a pool party.
Nice.
I quit. But I got 2 checks, like because of the way
Nice.
So I got 2 checks from that job, and it ruined pizza for like a year for me.
Yeah, you're like, I have my priorities in order, guys.
Pool party.
party.
So there's like the overall worst job just because it was a week.
Yeah.
and it ruined pizza. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Gotcha.
that's mine.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
But you, Eric?
Worst job. It's worst but most fascinating job I've ever had. I worked for a beekeeper several summers,
gosh.
summers in a row. During our fall episode, you were talking about how we don't go outside because of the heat and stuff like that.
Yep.
But when you're like, it's the worst job because you're outside in full bee suit in 100. It's like feels like 107 degrees
Yeah.
outside, and you're just pouring sweat. Surrounded by bees that aren't happy that you're there to take their honey. So it's fascinating working through all the process of collecting the honey and stuff like that. But I remember the last summer I worked, I got major heat stroke. My body just shut down. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I just had to lay in the back of the truck with the AC on and hope that everything cooled down. Nothing was the same after that,
Yeah.
Were your ears buzzing?
Man.
I mean, and there's something about, like, I found out that I wasn't allergic to bee stings. I mean,
That's good.
Yeah.
but doesn't mean they didn't hurt.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
They do
So
hurt. Really
it was
bad.
a fascinating job, but worst in the sense, like the heat was awful. And whenever the bees get pissed off, and there wasn't a time that I left that I wasn't stung.
Yeah,
Wow.
The clothes
So-
don't like fully help you.
No,
Yeah.
they keep you from dying for sure.
Yeah.
I remember we pulled up to one hive and for some reason my boss was like, those supers, they call them the boxes they're in, supers, those supers over there, those bees are pissed. They're mad. Like everybody else was chill. They're just all around. They're just, but there was just one group. They were just mad. And I got swarmed that day. That was the first time I've got swarmed. And I was like, they were just flying at me.
Wow.
And I was like, I had to go away, like take a walk until they would stop messing with me. And that was pretty unnerving.
Yeah, no kidding.
So-
that would be so scary.
I would say worst job and just because of the heat and that kind of stuff, but probably hands down the most fascinating.
Yeah. Cool.
But you leave.
I've had so many jobs over the years. It's not even funny. You said you had like 3.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I've
know.
had.
And I'm working one of them right now.
I don't even know. Honestly, it's over 30 for sure.
Wow.
And thinking back through all of those jobs, there were 2. One that was a real job, and the other one I worked at for all of a day. Like,
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was like, and I'm done. It was I'll start with the quickest one. It was the one here at the bowling alley back when we had a bowling alley. In Lake
Bull,
Jackson.
Texas.
Yeah.
Bull, Texas. I walked in. The lady was super nice. It was a league night, which meant there was a bunch of drunk old men there.
Yeah.
And I walked up and I learned how to serve beer for the first time ever. I was about 18 years old. And I will never forget being hit on by an old man who wanted beer.
Okay.
And he was like,
Mhm.
well, he's cute. I hope you keep him around. And I was just like,
Man, this is my last day.
I'm uncomfortable.
and I gotta go to my car. I'll be right back. Never. And
I'll be right back. Never.
yeah, and
That's great.
that was it. And that was it. And I never went back. And I don't know how anybody ever worked there. I mean, male or female. It was creepy.
Anyway,
Anyway,
just told him to stay in his lane.
oh.
Because he was definitely striking out.
This
Yeah.
is
Well,
quickly becoming the worst job.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a ball buster of a job, but
That was funny.
it was a strikeout for me. So anyway, environmental analytics. I walked 7 miles in the plants. And the reason I mentioned this one is because it probably was the worst and probably the most dangerous job I've ever had. And I never really respected my dad. All the years he worked as an operator in Dow, and I was always kind of like, you know.
Yeah.
And then I went out and worked in the plants, and I had to walk 7 miles every day and visually inspect a hazardous waste line. It's called a RCRA line, RCRA. And it had PDC bottoms in it. And that's what I was visually inspecting every day, 365 days a year, rain, shine, did not matter. And so I would go out and I'd visually inspect it. And yeah, I remember it was 105 degrees. And I was in full Nomex with a hard hat, vest, steel toe boots, the whole 9 yards.
So it was 110 in your suit.
Oh, at least. And of course, I'm just looking, and I prayed. I was like, Lord, I need a new job, because if I keep doing this, I'm going to die. And that weekend, I sat down at a donut shop, and I was looking in the paper. And I saw somebody that had an opening it was Ziegler's t-shirt shop in Ingleton had an opening. And so I went to work for Ziegler's, and I quit environmental analytics, but
That's cool.
So
it was horrible. Ugh.
Lee found an opening at a donut shop. That's like perfect.
Oh.
Come on.
I know.
Well,
That's
yeah. I'm
So
glad
great.
I'm glad you
That's
didn't
so
glaze
great.
over that.
I know.
Oh,
I
my
know.
God. Oh, we're really working today. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should call this the pun.
I know this is the
episode.
pun episode at work.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm excited about this next question a lot, because if it's one of those ones that you get to kind of dream up what you would like to do, right?
Mm.
So if you could do anything as your job, what would it be? Anything.
Spy.
anything.
I'd even go as far as to say, like, unrealistically, like,
Spy.
do something that you get paid
yeah.
for. Like, that's just your job. That's what you get to
James
do.
Bond. Yeah, essentially.
That'd be amazing,
Wouldn't it?
actually.
Yeah.
It really would. I mean, all the spy movies, like, if it was legit,
sure. Yeah.
like, and you just got to do that.
Yeah, come on. That'd be all amazing.
So you'd be at a lot of casinos. I don't know why. That's the thing that
Yeah.
spies do. You just got to go to casinos all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to learn how to play all those games.
You would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it, but every single
He
spy
knows.
movie I've ever
Yeah.
seen, they go to the craps table or the
They always win.
blackjack.
It's all high
Casino
stakes.
Royale.
All high
Hedge
stakes.
their
for
bets.
sure.
I love Casino Royale.
Yeah.
It's probably
It's a good
one of
one.
my favorite.
That's a really great job.
Just the opening credit scene.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's super great.
Parkour.
All right, so let me think.
Yeah,
What would
random.
I think if I could do any job, like obviously I really love what I do now. I like that a lot, but I think the creative side of me would just love to do probably like a writer, like a film writer, and somebody. I don't want to sit at a computer and just write. Like I want to be on a team that just creates things
Sure.
that
Nice.
become TV shows and become films.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that's just cool. I'd love the idea of being able to have just things that you create come to life. So
For sure.
anything that I could do that would make that happen, that would be like an amazing dream job.
Nice.
You? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Either one.
Mhm.
They're thinking really hard. I'm
MMA
surprised.
fighter.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I would have had to have trained a long time ago up to now, but like
Yeah, you'd have
if I could have done anything, that's
cool.
I know that that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I know I'd get the crap beat out of me, but
Yeah, that's the whole point.
to be able to figure out
Losers
how to
make
dish it
money
out,
too, brother.
I know, right? Like, let's go. Work out a lot of frustrations.
I'm pretty sure
That'd have been a good outlet of frustrations over the
I
years.
think your migraines might get a little worse though.
I mean,
Like,
ultimately,
I don't know.
yeah, ultimately, maybe not.
You hit
I don't know.
enough.
Bitch.
I don't know.
Well,
Who
one
knows?
hit and you're like, whoa, they're gone forever.
I can't remember.
Yeah. No idea.
Okay, so I think what I would want to do is not like a YouTube person, but like a critic who has no background, right? Like I want to be
Standalone.
like I just get to go do like
Critique things.
amusement
Stuff, yeah.
parks or like
Yeah.
restaurants
Whatever,
and be
yeah.
like, I have no place to critique, but here's what I think.
Nice.
Like
Love it.
so, like your
Yeah.
everyday man.
I feel like most critics are that.
Well,
They're already
yeah.
that
YouTube
person.
ones definitely are.
Yeah,
For sure.
like I don't know. I think it's fun because then you get to experience like
Yeah.
all these different kinds of things and be like, I don't know, it tastes good to me. Like,
Yeah.
That's such a brilliant. Like, what if he just starts doing it? Because it's like, who's gonna
You could totally
say
could.
whether or
You
not he
could.
is?
yeah.
I'd
You
follow
should,
you.
for sure.
Yeah.
Just go into a movie theater and be like, "Hi, I'm going into this. Do you have a ticket? No, I'm a critic. I'm
I'm a
here to
critic.
review."
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
my bad. You
Yeah.
know,
I'll
I
make
thought
a
about that
badge and
too.
everything. Yeah.
I thought about that too, but like getting paid to go to movies and just
Yeah.
critique them
Yeah,
and stuff like
like-
that. That'd be rad.
super cool.
I don't know. I think it'd be fun.
And it's like everything. He's like amusement parks,
oh
Oh,
yeah,
you
yeah,
get the
like-
whole gambit.
Every-
new
everything, yeah.
stores.
yeah,
yeah.
Just like today we're reviewing Target.
Just
like,
what if you
For
just
me.
reviewed everything?
Like,
just everything.
I'm like,
Like,
can I review?
this water?
Can I
Yeah.
review Lego? Because that's really expensive. Like, you just send me stuff.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I think that would be the job. If I could do anything,
That's cool.
I think I would do that.
Well, let's contrast that to what we actually do.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're not doing our dream jobs, even though
Sort
you know,
of.
Well,
kind of, maybe
Yeah.
a little bit. I mean, he still is a critic of everything. So
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
it's part of my job.
No, well, I mean, what do we do now? What are you doing now? Like, is it close to your dream job? Do you love it? Do you hate it?
Well, I teach part time
Mhm.
and junior high drama, media, and journalism, and I never thought I would, but I do enjoy that. I don't know if I love it, but there's days when it's really good, and there's days when it really isn't so good. Junior high drama challenges me because those kids are they're great kids, but,
Name drop.
Because
But
Tell them
there
right
is
junior
now.
high.
junior
Yeah,
high
they're gonna
drama.
but they're
watch
junior
name
high.
drop.
Exactly,
Yeah.
they're junior
Just
high. They
Try to get him in trouble.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I can't.
Sorry.
There's a contract.
Alexis, you know.
Yeah,
It's like a random name. Billy Bob.
yeah.
You know who you are. No.
Cletus. No, I'm just
That's an old name.
yeah. But that, and then of course, running my business, there are days when that's amazing, and there's days when that just
It's a nightmare.
here lately, I've got two sides of the business, Be Remembered, which is the photography, videography, and of course the studios that we're in now.
quite
And honestly, has never really taken off in this area. I've done some work, but for the most part, it is very slow. So the thing that makes the most money is marketing and creative. And marketing and creative, when I first started, I loved it. It was amazing. I was helping people. But now everybody thinks they know everything. And, so
Thank you, YouTube.
Yeah.
Thank you.
exactly. And Wix. And, when it comes to making a website, everybody thinks, well, I can just go on Wix or GoDaddy Tonight or Squarespace.
Yeah.
And granted, you can, and you can create something. But it's just one of those things where you realize, okay, hold on. I've got dozens of years under my belt. I have an education. I've worked for multi-million-dollar corporations. I designed a logo in 1997 that a multi-million-dollar organization is still using to this day. I've worked for television stations. I've worked for radio stations. Like, I have all of this experience and education and just, knowledge, and people second guess me and rewrite their About Us page. And,
Yeah.
and you're just like, okay. I mean, if that's what you wanted to say, that's fine. But, it's just like, I put a lot of time and effort and thought into giving you what you got. And you guys know this because y'all are artists as well. And you've done this for stuff, but logos. I sit and I consider I have a conversation with a person.
Yeah.
We talk about it, and then I present the logo, and they're like, and I'm like, what do you not like? And here's 3 different versions of it. And they're like, I don't know about any of that. And you're like, what do you want? And then they come back, and it's like the final thing that they went out to go out and create. It's a font choice. It's a font. They just picked the words with a font. It's not a logo. It's a font choice.
Can you give me Nike?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you do that?
Yeah. It's
So
like,
can you just
what
turn
in
it
the
though, so
world?
it's the other way.
Like Supreme is really
Anyway.
speaking to me. I think
Yeah.
Supreme, if we can get something
Yeah.
that looks
Yeah.
like that, that'd
You're
be
funny.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going
Yeah.
off here, but you know what I'm saying.
He's passionate.
I am passionate about this, and it does suck because
It's literally a part of you.
it's
the
part of
creator
me.
knows that that's a part of you.
yes. And so there are times when I love it, but there are times when I hate it. And when I hate it is when I have a customer who's just like completely obtuse and doesn't get it. And they're just like, no, I want this. And you're like, that looks like crap. And it's funny. And it's funny because
Tell us how you really feel.
and I go to other coworkers. I go to other people, and I'm like, hey, check this out. Like, I want to make sure that I'm not just crazy here, and I'm just like not getting it. And I'll show it to 5 other people, and they're all like, yeah, that sucks. And I'm like, okay. And here's what I did. And some of them may love it, some of them may hate it, but it's like, it's not that, Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
Mine's kind of contrasted to that in a way because
You love what you do.
I do. I really do. There's moments that are difficult. I think anytime you work in a place that deals with people, it's hard and you get disappointed sometimes. You get annoyed sometimes. But I work at a church called Hope Fellowship. I started there in college. And it was supposed to be an internship. Like it was literally supposed to be a short period of time where, I felt like in my life, I was being called to do ministry work in this area, but I still had plans. I still had like college calling to me and Texas Tech or whatever. I was like, I'm going there. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
30 years later.
No kidding. Yeah. It's been 13 years.
Wow.
13 years since I started working there. That internship turned into a job that was part-time. And then I started working part-time somewhere else. But, and then now it's full-time. I absolutely love it. I get to work doing all the things I've ever wanted to do. I'm also very in the creative mindset of doing all the stuff you mentioned. I still do that, but I do that for the church now. Yeah. Whereas before I did it as a part-time business as well off to the side. And all the frustrations you just meant, same thing. It got tiring. So, but now I get to do it for a company, organization that's on my team. They're on my side. Yeah, we're of like-mindedness so that when we move forward with something, we're all in exact like unity with it. So it's cool to be able to have a creative outlet that's so supportive.
That's awesome. Man.
So yeah, I love it.
And you can't really like, so-and-so comes up and like, I'd really like this design for my ministry. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
you can't.
You're wonderful and I love it. Yeah. Let's make a couple of different adjustments to get you on the right path.
It's like, we got you. It's all right.
I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
Or I think you have a great start there.
Yes.
Let me help you.
It's great.
Like, okay, I see where you're going. Let's keep going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's flush this out.
Yeah.
What you guys? I know what you do.
Yeah. I work for the same church as Raymond. I do. I work like 15 feet away from that guy.
He does.
Same office.
Yeah. We have a lot of fun.
We do.
Today I was running around with a mullet.
Yeah,
nice.
That was
hilarious.
Yeah. It's just part of the job.
Yeah.
Dreams.
I work with
things happen
with youth most of the time. And I also work with like groups, that sort of thing. So I work with adults as well, but a lot of my time is with youth. I love my job. There are times where I hate my job. Obviously, anytime you work with people, you're going to come across things that you hate. You hate, or I hate seeing the effects of sin.
Yep.
I hate having to deal with some of the things that we have to deal with, especially with our youth.
Yep.
Yeah.
That they have to deal with it.
Yeah, pain is not fun.
Right.
And, I always say this, the greatest part of my job is probably the worst part of my job is we spend, and you guys as educators will get this too. We spend, so many years with these students and then we send them off. Like if you've done your job right, they go, right? And so the greatest part is you've prepared them and you've sent them and they, go on to whatever it is next in their life.
Yeah.
But I've just spent, 2 to 6 years with this person.
Yeah.
And they're now gone and you got to, start over. So yeah, like, that part's hard. But I enjoy what I do. I do a lot of graphic stuff with this guy.
Very talented.
Because that's just part of youth as well. It seems like, doing design stuff and I enjoy doing that. So yeah.
I guess mine's a combination of y'all's. It's like, I'm like Lee, I'm a school teacher. We're like you, we've been working with students for ever.
Yeah.
I actually work at a disciplinary campus, working with high schoolers. So it is challenging. It's got its days where it's amazing, because you get to meet people right where they're at, and build that trust and connect and hope the best for them. But I also, like any job, I just can't stand politics. And it seems sometimes the politics in certain situations undercut you from being able to do your job well. But that's in any job, I feel. So just navigating that.
Yeah.
That's the part of the job that I don't like.
Mhm.
But getting to work with students and ultimately hoping that they get to a spot where they see it, they get it, everything from their understanding of what you're trying to teach to the helping them understand that they do have value.
Yeah,
And that's a big thing working with students, whether you're on a school campus or at church. Like,
for sure.
value is what you're focusing on. Like, we're gonna teach you some things about XYZ subject or whatever. But the hope in all of this is whenever you see students walking in on the daily who feel like they are worthless, is to help them understand that they're here on purpose for a purpose. And so that's the part of my job that I love.
Sure.
But it's also hard as well because we're dealing with people and broken mentalities and people that come from abuse and all kinds of things that warp their sense of value. And so just trying to be consistent in the midst of all that, so you can be one of the safe places in their day, and then hopefully they launch like you're talking about, and you're like, man, I'm excited for what's next for them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's really cool, man. Yeah, I mean, I've really enjoyed the conversation we've had because it's been super punny.
It,
It has been very punny, but
it worked.
it's been valuable.
It worked.
I mean, we've learned some stuff about our past and how we've worked and stuff and how that's affected our lives. And we've learned what jobs we really don't want to do. Down here, it seems to be outside. So,
That's right.
yeah. But thanks for going along with us on this podcast about work and all the really bad puns that we made. We're sorry, but not sorry. I mean, I'm pretty proud of the puns we made today. But yeah, we hope to see you again on another episode of the 4THOUGHT podcast. Peace out.